What is going on, guys? We are back playing on the FTOG Avant 3 server. Now today, guys, we're going to be messing around with some Ender.io stuff, getting started in that department, but along with that, we're actually going to start off the episode by finishing off where we left off last time, which was trying to put the ball of moss on our worst tool ever. Now, as I mentioned before, the reason I want to put the ball of moss on this is because it's not a great tool, but the ball of moss is relatively cheap, and it'll allow it to slowly repair, which means we won't need to throw a bunch of bronze ingots into this thing. And we're not going to be using it a ton, unlike a pick where I probably wouldn't use a ball of moss. We're just going to use this occasionally when we need to chop down one big tree to open up some area, or to, get some charcoal if we need it, or anything like that. So the ball of moss will do the trick on it, and we've got the ball of moss right here. And as a lot of people inform me, you can't just use it as the ball of moss anymore. You need to convert it into mending moss, and I should have just been smart. I should have read the tooltip that it has, but it says right click a bookshelf with this to convert it into mending moss, consumes 10 levels. So we're going to do that. I did just cook down some charcoal, which is sitting in my inventory right now, and that was able to get me up to level 10, so it was pretty good that we chopped down a couple trees already. But now we need to make a bookshelf, and then we should be good to go. Now, luckily, I actually have a fair amount of books on me, because on my way over to where I'm living right now, and I wouldn't even say it's living here right now, because there really isn't that much around us, but on my way over here, I went through a village, and I just decided to break all the bookshelves in one of the houses, just because you need books a lot, so why not just have them laying around? So, we're going to make this first. So, I was looking at the Ender.io stuff, but we just need a bookshelf first, and we'll just go with regular, plain old bookshelf. And I actually don't really know how this works exactly because I've never used it before, but I assume we just throw the bookshelf down, right click on it, and we're good to go. It should pop the item back out. So we right click on this, and oh, there it is in our inventory. So mending moss modifier. So now it's a modifier. If you don't know, with Tinker's Construct, that's pretty much what you call the things you add on. If you add redstone on, that's the modifier. So this should allow us to add the modifier on for moss. I don't know if it's actually called mending moss now, but let's see. So there we go. We can actually put this on. It is called mending moss, and we can grab it out, and now we have that on there. So it did take a little bit of a extra step than it used to, but we should be good with that. And now let's go chop down a tree. I don't even know if there's a tree I want to chop down. Let's chop down this tree right here. There we go. What? Why does it not want to let me chop down this whole tree? I don't know why it is not allowing me to chop down that whole tree. That's a little bit weird, but you know what, we'll leave it for now. Okay, we got the modifier on there that we want, and we should be good to go with that. So now we actually are going to jump into some Ender.io stuff. Now the reason I want to do this, and I was planning on doing this last episode, I didn't know it would take us so long to get through making the smeltery and making the tool and all that stuff, but I really like Ender.io. Everyone that's been around on my channel for a while will know that. It's pretty much my go-to first thing when I'm playing with any mod pack that involves it, and the reason is because I love the conduits. Now, there are other ways to move items and fluids and power and all that, but the Ender.io ones are really nice. They let it move all in one. The visuals look great, and it doesn't really cause that much lag, which everyone knows is my problem with the mechanism mod, and they can't occupy the same block. So, we are going to go for the conduits. Hopefully we can get our energy ones today. We're not going to have item ones just because we don't actually have the ender pearls for it, but we should be able to get the energy conduits and start hooking stuff up to that. So the first thing that we're going to use is going to be a stirling generator, and let's see if I just type in generator if I can find it. So there we go, stirling generator, and the reason I'm doing that is because we're in a forest. Coal is really easy to come by, but we also have a lot of charcoal, so it should be no problem to get all the stuff we need for this. So it's pretty easy. We just need a couple stone bricks, a furnace, a piston, and 2 basic gears. So we are going to be doing a little bit of crafting, and I actually don't have, I actually do have some iron over here. I wasn't sure if I would have the iron that we need, so we can easily go in and make the piston right now. And now I want to say this was a trick that Brink told me, but I was going to mention, I actually used to never be able to remember if the redstone went on top or on the bottom. But I think it was Brink. It might have been Non-Sanity, but I want to say it was Brink. Just said, think about how a redstone would go into a piston. The signal goes in right at the base of it, so the redstone is at the base. And I know it's really stupid that I couldn't remember where it went, but I always flip those two around. And yeah, that trick has stuck with me for a very long time now. So get those out. The basic gears should just be a couple sticks. We need 2 of them, so we got to make 2 of these. And bring it around on the outside. And I think it's cobble in the middle of these then. Yeah, so we got our 2 basic gears here, and then we just need a furnace and we'll be good to go. Looks like we got a couple guys on the server here with us. So we got that, and I keep getting all these achievements for things that I already have, but we already know that. I just want you guys to know that I did make furnaces. I did do all of that. I'm not a total beginner on here. So we got our stirling generator right here, and we'll give it a little hello, give it a little wave in chat. Now I think we're gonna put it over. We can just put it over here for now. I don't actually have a base yet. I have not had the time, unfortunately. As some of you might know, I am a college student. I just got back to college. I think I mentioned that in the last video. And I actually just was doing my chemical engineering homework before hopping on here. So I haven't had as much free time as I would have liked to kind of mess around with stuff on here. But hopefully I will have a base built in the next couple of days. Yeah, almost done with the game with that achievement. Haha, so funny. Someday we will catch up, guys, don't worry. So now we actually can throw some stuff down in this right now. We can just throw half of that in there. It'll just fill up its internal storage, and we can let it sit there. Nothing special about it. Wow, these guys are all so funny. Haha. Ha 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 ha. So funny. But now we need to go and make we're gonna make the sag mill, and we're gonna make the alloy smelter. And we should have the flint for this, and we should pretty much have everything for this really right now. The copper we're gonna have to grab from over here, and this is a rough setup. It's not the best setup right now, and you can see why, because I don't exactly know if there's an easy way around this. You can't just like shift click or right click and get it out if everything doesn't line up perfectly in terms of making an ingot. So most of the time when this happens, I just kind of break it and grab the stuff back out from down here. But oh no, I forgot to flip that off. Oh, that's our blood though. If you guys don't know what that is, that actually wasn't supposed to be in there, so I don't feel bad about that. That should have been the last thing in there then, yeah. So we do need to throw some copper in there. We'll allow that to cook down. And because there's nothing in there, we can quickly throw this back down and get the ingot cast in there, and then flip this back on, and we'll get our copper from that, and we can finish the rest of this while that's going. But we can grab out all of our ingots from down there, get our iron, or what's left of our iron after crafting last episode. We can make another piston in here real quick, and the flint, we should have the flint over here. Oh, I only have one piece of flint, which is a little bit unfortunate. And unfortunately the way to get the flint we actually don't have. So I might hop off camera right now and go get some flint by just breaking gravel until it goes to flint. I'll get 2 more pieces, but I don't even seem to have that on me. So I will do that, and then we'll jump back. Oh, guys, you thought I was stupid, didn't ya? Didn't ya? I had flint in my inventory already. I didn't realize that right away, but then I looked, and I saw it, finally. So hopefully you guys aren't ripping your hair out, but I did have a fair bit in my inventory that I completely forgot about, and I did think that I had gotten flint in the past and had a bunch on me, which is why I was surprised when I only saw 1. So yeah, luckily I didn't gather too much gravel before realizing that. I'll admit I gathered a little bit before realizing it, but now we're here. We are ready to craft. Please don't make fun of me in the comments. So really all we need to make are some gold nuggets here. We should be set with just making 1 gold into gold nuggets, and should be good to make capacitor here. And the machine casing we need our iron bars for. We're going to go through a lot of iron today. So there we go. We can get our chassis, and there we go. So we can get the sag mill. So this is the first one that we need to make. Now we do need to do a little bit more crafting, because a lot of you guys will know that the alloy smelter is how you're going to get pretty much all of the conduits, because you do need to make a lot of the alloy from Ender.io, or you need to make it. You're required to. Most of it is going to be the you know, you can make some redstone alloy if you eventually want to get the vibrant alloy nugget, stuff like that. You require this. We're not going to get to the vibrant alloy and energetic alloy for a little bit, but we do need to use it. So we need the alloy smelter. Now this one is pretty similar in regards to making the chassis in the center, but then it requires a fair bit of cobble to make. So I actually don't know if we have enough cobble on us right now to make it. We got to grab this cobble over here, and we don't even have enough room for that in our inventory, and that's not going to be enough. We're going to be too short, so we're actually going to turn our stone into cobble. Interesting. I don't think I've ever had to do that in the past. So there we go. Make our 3 furnaces, and then we need a cauldron so we can get that, and we should be good to go now with the alloy smelter. So that used a fair bit of our iron. We had 47 before, so we used up 30. We really don't have that much left, but With this, it'll be a little bit easier for processing stuff, and of course we can still use the smeltery over here, but this one's a little bit more annoying to use if you're not forced to, so I prefer to use this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we can just toss these down next to it, and it should start filling up. And of course it'd be easier to automate if we put one next to the other, but right now we're just going to throw them on each side, then we'll move it later once we've used both of them. Now the cool thing that I haven't actually noticed is that these have 3D faces now. That is awesome. If you've been around on my channel for a little bit, you'll know that I haven't really played with any mod pack for at least over a year now, and you know, I haven't got to play with Ender.io. Wait, does this one have a 2D face? So this one's got like a 3-dimensional top, but the front looks 2D. And then, yeah, that's weird. These are like pushed in the front and have like a nice texture. This one doesn't as much, I guess. Ew. I don't know. That bothers me a little bit. But we need to start working with these. So the first thing that we need to make when we're making a conduit, and we're going to go for the energy conduit, so it's a little bit easier to move around. We can't use the maximum one. We're just going to use the regular one. So we need conduit binder, which requires the binder composite, which is pretty much the same stuff that you needed to make grout, which is why I didn't want to use up all of it when we were making that, and it appears that I kind of did when making this. It looks like we're a little bit short on sand, but if we look at the recipe for this, there should be a way to get it. I want to say there should be a way to get it using the sag mill, but I don't actually know. Let's see if we can get it with cobble. I thought we could have. Yeah, because with a crusher you can normally get into sand, so what I'm thinking is the sag mill should be able to get that for us. We should be able to see the recipes in here, right? No? Okay. Well, that's the alloy smelter, but we can't see them over here either. Let's see if we throw in stone, what we get. We should get cobble when we throw in stone, but let's see what we get when we throw in cobble. Please give me sand. I just need one. I just need one piece of sand. It's been so long. It's either going to be gravel or sand. Oh, does it give you a chance at sand? It might give you a chance at sand. Okay, we're going to put like 4 in here. We just need one piece of sand for the conduit binder because we get 8 binder composite from just this one recipe, and then we get 2 binders from each. So it's 16 per recipe, and all we need is 2 sand. Okay, so we get the cobble, then we'll get the sand. For the alloy smelter, we can start using that because we need to make this conductive iron, which we get using redstone and iron. So we can throw in the redstone over here and grab the iron from this chest. And we're really only going to need 3 right now. So that should be 3 right there. It'll take a little bit to cook. We don't have anything in there for upgrades. So we got our cobble. Please give me sand. This is so slow and tedious too. I really hope we get sand from this anyway. I feel like we definitely should. But I'm not positive. So please. Please. If this doesn't give it to me, I might give up for a little bit and just go grab some sand off camera. Oh, come on. Last one. Oh, we can see recipes. Okay. No, it gives gravel. What does gravel give? Does it give flint? Oh my gosh. Does anything give sand? Oh, it's got a 10% chance of giving sand. 30% of gravel. Oh! We got 2 sand from the gravel. I should have just put gravel in there. Let's look at the gravel recipe. This is going to make me hate my life. If I look at gravel and it's got a better chance and we have gravel on us, well, that's fine. We'll let that finish cooking up over there, and we should have some clay in here. We've got the gravel, we've got the sand, so we can make 1 set of conduit binder, or binder composite, and then we can cook this down. We'll cook it down at a regular furnace. I was told that I should make a craft furnace? Craft furnace. Is it this one right here? Craft furnace. 2 furnaces, and it uses stone. Well, we might as well just break we might as well break both of these. I was told it's significantly better. So let's try this out. Let's give it a whirl. I was told by one of you guys that I should make this, so we're going to make it on camera. Never used it before. So there we go. Put both furnaces in there. Both furnace-I. Get the craft furnace. It looks kind of funny. Huh. Okay, so the coal goes in there. Let's throw the charcoal into... Okay, so it can hold multiple sources. Let's throw the binder composite in there. It can cook 2 at once, and it can hold a bunch of stuff, and then it should output to there. That's actually pretty cool before you actually get powered furnaces, which we can get right now if we really wanted to craft it, but I'm not super worried about it. So we should have all the binder composite or the conduit binder that we need. We have our conductive iron over here, and we can start putting this together and hook it up. So get that, and boom, our energy conduits are very low tier energy conduits. And now we can take the sag mill and we can actually break the generator. Whoa. Get the generator back, put the generator over here, put the sag mill over there, and just power it out the back. So there, and there. And I love the conduits, have not seen them in forever. Very happy to see them again, but this should still be filling up with power. Yes, indeed it is. And we haven't actually gone through that much charcoal. So now we need to configure these, because if we wanted to throw something in there, like we wanted to throw the gold in there, because we wanted to use this instead. And I love this way of configuring it. I wish Mechanism had this where it shows transparent adjacent blocks, because you know what side you're working with. Then we're going to set this to push out that side. And we don't even need to set this one to pull, because we already have it pushing to this side, and now it's cooking it down. And the last thing we need to do is just come over here and make a chest for all of this good stuff to go into. Pretty much the same setup that we had rocking over with the smeltery over here. And then we'll just have it push into this side. So configure it and have it push over here, and there's our chest of all that stuff, separated from the other one by a very fancy bookshelf that was actually quite useful today, with getting the worst tool ever to be a little bit less bad. But it'll be nice, because I was told a couple different things that I could do with the tools. So eventually we will get an axe that'll turn everything into charcoal, which will be pretty cool if we wanted to use that for some type of power source. Also, eventually I also wouldn't want one to turn it to charcoal, because we're going to be building with this stuff, so we kind of want to have a little bit of it that's not, you know, turned into a fuel source. But for now, it's pretty nice to use with the stirling generator. Now, one thing I want to point out, and I really hope we have this in here, is, let me see, is this it? Endergenic generators from RF Tools. Okay, so some of you guys might know that in a couple of my older series, I use the endergenic generators, and I love these things so much because they're so great at generating power if you can spawn endermen in, which it's relatively easy to do if you want to go to like a roguelike dungeon and get an enderman spawner, or if you want to make a shard out of it. If you really want to do that, you can do either. But if you have a pretty unlimited supply of endermen without, you know, you can go into the end too, but if you have that, you can collect the ender pearls, and you can pretty much just put them into the endergenic generators and get great power out of it. And it's really cool, and I think a lot of people like seeing it because it uses a lot of redstone to fully automate it, because the way they work is it's pretty much you fire an ender pearl from one into another that's adjacent, and you pretty much fire it between four that make up a square. And it's got to be leaving one of them as the one in front of it opens and stays open for like a split second, and then it closes. So it's got to fire it at the right time and open at the right time and all that stuff. And it's really cool. And setting it up is fun. So we're going to be working towards that. I think we'll start doing that actually in the coming episodes, just because it does take a couple of resources, but it's really effective at generating power, and it's fun to do. So I think it's where we're going to call it for the episode today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to give it a like, as it does help me out a lot. And do not make fun of me for the flint thing, okay? I figured out it was in my inventory eventually. I know if I hadn't realized that, I would have gotten reamed out. But, you know, we're all friends here, so there's no need to. But, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later.